Well, good morning, everyone. As you may know, I'm Matt Cartwright, and I've called this press conference. I appreciate your taking the trouble to attend. It was October of the year 2000 when my client, Michelle Cartwright, started to undergo chemotherapy. She had been diagnosed with a rare form of female reproductive cancer called gestational trophoblastic disease, a very deadly cancer, and she started to undergo the chemotherapy in October 2000. Her doctors led her to believe that the chemotherapy wasn't working, so they increased the dosages and they started her on increasingly harsh chemotherapy. In all, she ended up spending about 7.5 months on chemotherapy. She experienced the full range of horrible side effects. So many of us in northeastern Pennsylvania have had members of our family touched by cancer and have had to go through chemotherapy. Michelle experienced the full spectrum of side effects. She had to be hospitalized for dehydration. She experienced horribly painful mouth sores from the chemotherapy. She threw a clot akin to a pulmonary embolism, which could have killed her also as a result of the chemotherapy. In all, she went through 12 rounds of chemotherapy. The reason a lawsuit was brought on her behalf was that she never had cancer. And it was my pleasure to represent her here in the Luzerne County Courthouse. The case went to trial exactly 5 years ago in the month of April 2007, and it resulted in a jury verdict in Michelle's favor. The jury found that the defendant physicians, there were two of them, I won't name them, were liable for carelessness in their diagnosis, and as a result, she went through close to 8 months of needless chemotherapy. That's the reason a lawsuit was brought. The reason this press conference is being held this morning is that, as you know, I am engaged in a battle for the 17th Congressional District of Pennsylvania. I stand for election to be the congressman representing northeastern Pennsylvania. And a series of malicious, slanderous television ads have been run against me, accusing me of improper, unethical conduct, accusing my family of the same. And I understand that politics is a rough sport. I have a thick skin after 25 years of trial practice. But yesterday, my opponent ran all day. He ran a television ad accusing not only me but also my client of bribing a judge to win that case. Nothing could be further from the truth. We made a routine political contribution to that judge 4 years before this trial ever happened, and the judge didn't decide the case. It was a jury that decided the case, and they decided it after almost a full month of trial in the month of April 2007. Here today, I want to introduce to you one of the jurors. Brandy Stetz, excuse me, is here. Brandy, say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
And Brandy has bravely agreed to come forward and give you what her reaction was when she saw that ad yesterday morning on her television. Go ahead.
Yesterday morning, I was sitting with my family having coffee, and I waiting for Good Morning America to come on, and I saw the ad. I don't like to pay too much attention to them because, like he said, they can be brutal. But when they said what they said, I immediately said to my family, that's a lie. We, the jury, listened to 3 weeks of intense testimony to decide the fate of Michelle. And we, the jury, awarded her that money. It had nothing to do with Judge Toole or nobody approached us. It was the jury that deliberated for 8 hours to decide that. So it just proves to show how it was a blatant lie, and I was actually really disappointed in it, and that's why I feel the need to come forward today to support Matt and Michelle and do the right thing.
Thank you, Brad.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Michelle Kaczurek is here to address you as well. We felt it was important for her to come forward and express how she felt about seeing that ad on television yesterday. Michelle?
Good morning. I would like to say being misdiagnosed with cancer was a terrible, terrible time. It took a long time to go through the chemotherapy. It took even a longer time to recover from the chemotherapy. Physically, it took probably about 2 years. Emotionally, I am still recovering. When I heard there was an ad on the television saying that I did something criminal, I felt humiliated. I felt violated. I was embarrassed. And what hurts the most is that somebody could try to hurt me, to say something negative about me for their own personal or their political gain. We all know somebody who went through cancer, who is going through cancer, who lost their battle with cancer. My intent when I met Matt Cartwright and decided on a lawsuit was to help other people realize, don't take everything your doctor says as truth. Don't take all the tests that your doctors will run as truth. Do your homework. Protect yourself. And again, to be so humiliated and so violated and so hurt by something that couldn't be any further from the truth. I had a jury trial. The doctors were found guilty of negligence, and I deserved that verdict. My family, my mother, my sister, my daughters, who at the time were 7 and 9 years old, when they almost lost their mother, what we thought was to cancer, but ultimately they almost lost me to the treatments of a cancer I never had. I don't deserve to be humiliated, embarrassed, or violated for somebody's personal or political gain. Thank you.
I just want to conclude my remarks by saying a man who will spread these vile untruths on television about me, my family, and now my clients, and then refuse to meet me in person and debate the issues facing the 17th Congressional District. I don't know what you say about a man like that, but if you choose to treat that man as the kind of person who is enough of a stand-up guy to represent you in front of the nation and your values in front of this country down in Washington, then be my guest. You go ahead and vote for my opponent. That concludes my remarks, and I'll take questions.
Have you asked Tim Holden to stop running those ads?
My understanding is the ad was pulled. It ran many times, I believe, on one station in the morning, was pulled by about noon on that station, and on the other, the NBC and CBS affiliate, ran all day and into the evening.
This isn't the only ad that's painted you in a rather unfavorable position. What do you have to say about the way he's run this campaign, and what does it say about how he feels about what the key is to win this race?
Well, there are negative ads, and then there is the politics of personal destruction. I have attacked my opponent's voting record in the United States Congress. In my humble opinion, that's above the belt. That's fair game. How a man or a woman votes in Congress, I think is fair game to talk about, because I disagree with so many of those votes. But attacking me as being unethical, as essentially committing crimes, and now going so far as to accuse this dear lady of committing a crime, it's unspeakable.
And just for the record, when did you donate to the judge's campaign?
When he ran in '03, about 4 years before the trial. If there are no other questions, I thank you all for gathering here this morning. Thanks very much.